Hello, welcome to this short video tutorial about tree canopy cover in the UK. My name is Paul Barton and I'm an arboriculturist based in Gloucestershire at Barton-hyett Associates. The purpose of this video is to provide a simple step-by-step tutorial on how to carry out a tree canopy cover assessment. It's specifically aimed at contributing to the UK Ward Canopy Cover Map, which has been set up by Forest Research, Trees for Cities and Brillianto. Written instructions for this are provided on the Forest Research website, so this video simply demonstrates those steps. Briefly, before we begin, let's recap on why we might want to know what UK canopy cover is. In simple terms, trees provide a wide range of environmental, social and economic benefits, and many of these are linked to the level of tree cover across a given area. By mapping the level of tree canopy cover across different wards in the UK, urban foresters and policymakers will have a better base of evidence on which to make strategic decisions about tree protection and planting. Okay, let's get on with the tutorial. Okay, so the best place to start is on the Forest Research website, and here we are at the designated webpage for the UK Urban Canopy Cover project. At the bottom of this page are useful and helpful downloads, including a step-by-step guide, which is essentially what I'll be taking you through in this video, a flyer and a configuration file, which we'll come back to shortly. So this link just here will take you through to the interactive web map, which here's the opening splash page. Click OK and you've got a simple GIS style web map with information about the contents of the map on the left hand side here, and then a big map window in the main frame here. So you can see here that the wards that have been mapped, essentially they're all urban wards that have been mapped, that are visible mostly, and shown by colour coding. So those that have been completed are in green, those that have been assigned but not yet completed are in yellow, and those that have not been assigned or completed are in blue. So let's navigate to a place of interest. I live in Worcester, so let's just go to a local ward as an example. Here we go. Here's the city of Worcester, and you can see that two wards in the south here have been assessed, as shown by their green colour. This one's been assessed with an 18% canopy cover, and the one below having 13%. And all the wards in blue are yet to be assigned or assessed. For some reason it's zoomed out a bit. So to pick a ward and begin your project, your canopy cover assessment, you need to click on the ward of your choice. So we'll pick this one down in the southwest corner here. And you need to let Forest Research know via this website that you're going to assign it to yourself. To do that, click on these three dots in the bottom right here. Use the Smart Editor tool to open up the same box but an editable version, and to change the status of the ward from unassigned to assigned, and give it today's date. There's a little calendar function there, and click Save. And once that's done, you can close that box. And the next thing we need to do is to download the polygon boundary of this ward, which is a simple function. Just again click on the ward, and you'll see on just below attachments here is a shape file with a code, which is the ward code. Just click on the link to download it and save it to your computer. That is all we need to do currently on this web page. Next, you'll want to navigate to the iTree website to carry out the canopy cover assessment. This is the home page for the iTree Canopy version 7. Simply click Get Started to begin your assessment. And there are 3 steps to configure your project. The first one is to tell the iTree website where your project is. We're not going to draw a boundary or use any predefined US boundaries. We're going to load the shapefile which we just downloaded from the UK ward map. So load shapefile. I'm going to browse to the shapefile that we just downloaded. Click open and OK. And you'll see that the map has now navigated to Worcester, and here's my ward card in red. Now we can press next. There are various ways to carry out canopy cover assessments with various configurations on land covers. Some cover classes are given here as an example. You could use, the best thing to do is to use the predefined land cover configuration that Forest Research have made available via their website. To do that, we're going to use the load function, but we're going to need to just pop back to the canopy cover, the Forest Research website, and download this file at the bottom here, which is called the iTree canopy configuration file. So click on that to download it. We can save it in the same place as your ward boundary. Let's save that. Pop back to the iTree page and then simply load that file. Open, and you'll see that the cover class table changes, and we've simply got two fields, one for non-tree and one for tree, and those are color coded according to the configuration provided. Click next. iTree is a US project, so it does have an America sort of bias. So we just need to let the project know that we're not in the US and that we want the currency to be in sterling. This is for the estimated financial benefits given by the trees. I'm going to change that to sterling symbol and this to metric. Okay, that's configuration set up and finished. So step 3 of 3 is now complete. We can click next to begin our assessment. So here we are on the main assessment page, and you can see the red ward boundary overlaid on this, I think it's probably a Google aerial image. And now the iTree software website is going to generate randomized points within that boundary and ask us to essentially tell the software whether we're looking at a tree or not. So it's quite simple. To begin, you just need to click this little plus icon here, and you'll see that our first point has been generated. Now it's important to note that we are only interested in recording what is exactly in the crosshairs of this small yellow crosshair here. Although we can see trees and shrubs and other land coverings around on this wider map page, we're only recording what's bang on in the middle of these crosshairs. So clearly here we're looking at the roof of a house, not a tree. So our cover class is going to stay as non-tree. Just click save and create new, and that will then generate the next point. We can see here on this one that we've got a tree down here off to the southwest of our point, and what could possibly be a row of trees here forming a hedge on the north, but the precise point is not on a tree, so we're going to also call this a non-tree point. Save and create new. You can zoom in and zoom out. It's not abundantly clear on this one. I'd suggest that this looks like it's probably going to be a shrub or a smaller plant in this rear garden. When you compare the size of these shadows around these green areas compared with the shadow of what's clearly a tree here, I think we can conclude that's probably not a tree. So we'll record that as a non-tree. Again, when there's shadow of a house here, non-tree. I'll keep going till we find a tree. I guess it's interesting. It's hard to tell here. We've clearly got some trees here casting shadows across the road and across the verge on the other side of the road here. I suggest that this crosshair is in the shadow and not on the crown of the tree. So if it's in the shadow, we're going to keep it as non-tree. But if the crosshair had been perhaps here, then that would have been directly on a tree. Here we go. tree here. So we've got what's quite clearly a kind of well-tree boundary, a sort of linear tree feature here, and this crosshair seems to be within the crown of a tree here. So now we'll record that as our first tree point. Save and create new. If you want to go back to edit any of your points, if you just click save here, it'll then show you the points you've recorded already. If you click on them, you can go back to revisit them. And if you want, you can edit them to change or just double check them. It's recommended that in case of any website crashes or internet problems, you save your project regularly so that you could reopen it and carry on from where you left off. So to save your project, just use the click on this blue save button here, and it's recommended that you use the ward code as the name of your project file, which if you go back to the ward map here, you can just simply copy and paste the ward code as your file name, save, like so, and that just means that if you experience a crash, you can reload the project. Okay, so the aim is to record enough points to get something which is significant statistically. The recommendation is that a ward should have a minimum of 300 points. But as you can see, you can collect points really quite quickly once you're moving. You can check the standard error of your project by clicking on this report function here and bring up a summary of where your project's at so far. So we can see that we've got a total of 8 points collected, 7 were non-tree, 1 was tree, and percent cover is 87.5% for non-tree and 12.5% tree cover. Now clearly, so few points, we've got a quite high level of standard error, over 12 here and 33 here. So the object is to collect enough points so that your standard error is below 2. Okay, so I'll collect one more. We've got non-tree there. That one seems to be on a tree. So I'll change that to tree. So that's it really. It's quite a simple process to collect the points. I've done it with my 8-year-old son and he quite enjoyed it and got the hang of it pretty quickly. So yeah, carry on, collect your 300 points. And then when you've done that, save your project, and you need to email the details of your project, email the project file to Forest Research. I've now finished collecting my point for this canopy cover assessment. As you can see over here on the right, I've collected 376 points in total, and I've just checked on the report to make sure that my standard error value is low enough. That's now below 2 for the non-tree and the tree classes. Yeah, so I'm good to go. So I've saved my file using this button we showed you earlier, and now you just need to email Forest Research with your results, and then they can update the map. So I'll just show you the details to be covered. So here's the correct email address to send your data to, and you just need to include the name of the ward and the code, the percentage estimate of canopy cover, which was 17.29% in this case. The standard error was 1.95, number random point to check was 376, and also to attach the project file, which is the .dat file. Okay, hope that's been helpful. I hope you have fun carrying out your assessment, and hope to see the map filling up soon. Thanks very much. Bye.